Let us talk now about the borders of the heart. As you know, there are three borders in the heart. This one is the right border of the heart. This is the right border of the heart. This is the right border of the heart, which is extending from the superior vena cava opening above. This is superior vena cava opening above to the inferior vena cava opening below. So this is the right border of the heart, which is formed only by the right atrium, extending from the superior vena cava opening above to the inferior vena cava opening below. This right border is represented on the surface by a faint ridge, and that is called as the sulcus terminalis. Along the right side of the right atrium, the right border is represented by a faint sulcus called sulcus terminalis. The same sulcus terminalis corresponds with crista terminalis inside. So that faint sulcus terminalis will correspond with the crista terminalis. This one is the crista terminalis inside. This crista terminalis is the inside portion of the right atrium, and the same thing on the surface is corresponding with the sulcus. This is the sulcus terminalis. So the right border is formed entirely by the right atrium, and the relations from within outwards of the right border are: it is covered with the three layers of the pericardium, that is the fibrous pericardium and serous pericardium, having two layers. So total three layers of pericardium. Outside the pericardium, it is related to the right phrenic nerve, right pericardiophenic vessels, then the mediastinal pleura of right lung, and followed by the cardiac impression of the right lung. So this part of the right atrium is related to the cardiac impression of the right lung. So the relations from within outwards again includes three layers of pericardium, right phrenic nerve, right pericardiophenic vessels, the mediastinal pleura of the right lung, and the cardiac impression of the right lung. This is all about the right border. Coming to the next border, which is the inferior border. This is the inferior border. So this right border is separating the sternocostal surface from the base. Right border is separating, this is sternocostal surface. It is this right border, this is sternocostal surface, and this one is the base. So it is separating the sternocostal surface from the base. Whereas the inferior border, this is the inferior border, which extends from the opening of the inferior vena cava to the apex of the heart. It extends from the opening of the inferior vena cava to the apex of the heart is the inferior border. This inferior border is separating which surfaces? Sternocostal surface in front and diaphragmatic surface below. So the inferior border is separating the sternocostal surface from the diaphragmatic. This is completely the diaphragmatic surface. And this inferior border is accompanied by marginal branch of right coronary artery. It is accompanied by the marginal branch of right coronary artery, and close to the apex it presents a notch. This one is the notch. You are seeing here there is a notch. See, this is the notch. This notch is called incisura apicis cordis. This notch is called incisura apicis cordis, which is to the right of the apex of the heart, and this notch transmits the anterior interventricular branch of left coronary artery. This is the anterior interventricular branch passing between the two ventricles here. This is right ventricle, this is left ventricle. So an artery between the two ventricles on the anterior side. So it is called anterior interventricular branch, which passes through the incisura apicis cordis and reaches the diaphragmatic surface, where it anastomoses with the posterior interventricular branch of right coronary artery within the posterior interventricular groove. So this is all about the inferior border. Now we have one more border, that is left border. This left border is faint, it is ill-defined, and it is formed only by the left ventricle, which extends from the this is left auricle to the apex of the heart, directed the convexity directed towards the left like this. This is a faint border which extends from the left, this is a left auricle, to the apex of the heart with its convexity directed to the left. And this border separates this sternocostal surface from the left surface. This border separates the sternocostal surface in front from the left surface behind. And this left border is accompanied by the marginal branch of left coronary artery. This border is accompanied by the marginal branch of left coronary artery. Thus, we have finished the borders. There are three borders: right border, inferior border, left border. Right border is formed only by the right atrium. Inferior border is present between the sternocostal surface and diaphragmatic surface, and left border is formed only by the left ventricle. Coming to the surfaces of the heart, again we have three surfaces: sternocostal surface in front, sternocostal surface in front, and diaphragmatic surface below, and left surface to the left. So there are three surfaces: sternocostal, diaphragmatic, and left. This sternocostal surface is facing in front. It is directed, if you put it in another, it is directed upwards and forwards. It is basically formed by the right atrium. 2/3 of it is formed by the right atrium. 1/3 by the two-thirds by the right ventricle, 2/3 by the right ventricle, and 1/3 by the left ventricle. And a part of the anterior surface of the right atrium also, along with its auricle, is also taking part in the formation of the sternocostal surface, and a part of the left auricle. So, the sternocostal surface, which is extensive, is formed 2/3 by right ventricle, 1/3 by left ventricle. It is also formed by a part of the anterior surface of the right atrium and its auricle, and a part of the left auricle. All these constitute the sternocostal surface. Now the features in the sternocostal surfaces are two grooves. Number one, right part of atrioventricular groove. This one, which is the right part of, this is right atrium, this is right ventricle. So this is right part of atrioventricular groove. And interventricular groove, anterior interventricular groove. These two are the features of the sternocostal surface. Why I am saying this as the right part of the atrioventricular groove? Because there is left part of the atrioventricular groove between left auricle and left ventricle here. This is left part of the anterior atrioventricular groove. This is right part of the anterior atrioventricular groove, intercepted by the pulmonary trunk. It is not continuous, it is separated by the pulmonary trunk here. This is right part of the anterior atrioventricular groove. This is left part of the anterior atrioventricular groove. So within this sternocostal surface we have two grooves: right part of atrioventricular groove and anterior interventricular groove. This right part of atrioventricular groove transmits the right coronary artery and is crossed by the anterior cardiac veins. This is the right coronary artery what you are seeing, and it is crossed by the anterior cardiac veins. This right coronary artery is one of the branch of one of the main arteries supplying the heart, right and left coronary arteries. This right coronary artery arises from the right anterior aortic sinus and passes within the atrium and the ventricle along the anterior aspect, that is the right atrioventricular groove. And on reaching the inferior border of the heart, it passes along the posterior aspect where it lies between the atrium and the ventricle. So that is the right part of the, this is the posterior atrioventricular groove. So it comes here till here, and here it anastomoses with the circumflex branch of the left coronary artery, within the posterior atrioventricular groove. This is the atrium, these are the ventricles, and this is a groove. So this is situated on the posterior aspect, hence it is called as the posterior atrioventricular groove. This posterior atrioventricular groove, close just to the left of the crux of the heart, we find the anastomosis of right coronary artery and circumflex branch of left coronary artery. The crux of the heart is nothing but the meeting point of four grooves. This is posterior interatrial groove, posterior interventricular groove, and posterior atrioventricular groove. These three, the interatrial groove, the posterior atrioventricular groove, and the posterior interventricular groove. The meeting point of all these things is called crux. Closed crux, CRUX. Just to the left of the crux of the heart, we find the anastomosis of right coronary artery and circumflex branch of left coronary artery. Before its anastomosis, the right coronary artery gives off a branch called posterior interventricular artery, which passes within the posterior interventricular groove and anastomoses with the anterior interventricular artery at the junction of anterior 1/3 and posterior 2/3 of the posterior interventricular groove. Okay. So this is about the atrioventricular groove here, and the other important feature within the sternocostal surface is this one, that is the anterior interventricular groove, which transmits the anterior interventricular branch of left coronary artery, which passes through the incisura apicis cordis and enters the diaphragmatic surface and anastomoses with the posterior interventricular branch of the right coronary artery at the junction of anterior 1/3 and posterior 2/3 of the posterior interventricular groove. So these two are the features. Now coming to the relations of this sternocostal surface. This sternocostal surface is immediately related to the three layers of the pericardium. Outside these three layers of the pericardium, it is related to the sternum. Imagine this as the sternum. Sternum, it is related to 3rd to 6th costal cartilages. Sternum and the 3rd to 6th costal cartilages of both the sides. 2/3 of the heart is situated onto the left side and 1/3 to the right. In between the sternum and the fibrous pericardium, the lungs, the anterior border of the lungs come into the picture. Anterior margin of the lungs come into the picture. So it is related to the anterior margin of the lung, outside the lung to the sternum and 3rd to 6th costal cartilages of both the sides, and immediately adherent to this heart is the three layers of the pericardium. This portion of the right ventricle behind the left 4th costal cartilage, that portion of the sternum below the left 4th costal cartilages, it is not covered by the left lung and its pleura because of the presence of the cardiac notch of the left lung, where it deviates to the left, and that portion of the sternocostal surface forms the superficial area of the cardiac dullness, which on percussion presents a dull note. That is a clinical entity which is important in diagnosing many disorders or diseases of the heart. This is about the sternocostal surface. Now we come into the left surface. Left surface is separated from the sternocostal surface from left border, and left surface is convex. It is directed upwards and to the left, formed basically by the left ventricle and partly by the left ventricle and left auricle, and the features include the left part of the atrioventricular groove. This is atrium and this is ventricle, so this is the left part of the atrioventricular groove. This left part of the atrioventricular groove transmits the commencement of the coronary sinus. It contains the circumflex branch of left coronary artery and termination of great cardiac vein. The great cardiac veins are present in the interventricular groove, anterior interventricular groove here, along with the anterior interventricular branch of left coronary artery. The termination of the great cardiac vein happens in the left part of the atrioventricular groove. So this left part of the atrioventricular groove contains the circumflex branch of left coronary artery like this, and anastomosis, already you know anastomosis with the right coronary artery close to the crux. Second one is the commencement of the coronary sinus, a venous channel, and the third one is termination of great cardiac vein. All these three are the features of the left part of the atrioventricular groove here. And this left surface, just like that of the right surface, we have said the right border it is related to so and so. Similarly, the left border is related to the three layers of the pericardium, followed by left phrenic nerve, left pericardiophrenic vessels, then the mediastinal reflection of the mediastinal pleura of the left lung, and finally the cardiac impression of left lung. So from the heart to outside, from within outwards, the three layers of pericardium, the left phrenic nerve, left pericardiophrenic vessels, and the mediastinal pleura of the left lung, and finally the cardiac impression of left lung. All these are the relations of the left surfaces. Thus we have finished the three surfaces, that is sternocostal surface, we have finished two surfaces, sternocostal surface and left surface. The third one is the diaphragmatic surface. The diaphragmatic surface is 2/3 of the diaphragmatic surface is formed by the left ventricle, and 1/3 by the right ventricle. 2/3 of the diaphragmatic surface is formed by, this is left ventricle, and 1/3 by the right ventricle. So this diaphragmatic surface lies between the posterior atrioventricular groove behind and inferior border in front. This is inferior border which is in front, posterior atrioventricular groove behind, in between you find diaphragmatic surface. This diaphragmatic surface is formed by 2/3 by the left ventricle and 1/3 by the right ventricle. The relations are again the three layers of the pericardium, the fibrous and visceral layers of the pericardium. Underneath the pericardium, it is related to the central tendon of diaphragm. Below the diaphragm, it is related to the cardiac impression of liver. Below that, cardiac impression of the liver, and so it is related to cardiac impression of the liver and even to the fundus of the stomach on the left side. So the relations basically are the fibrous pericardium, the diaphragm, the central tendon of the diaphragm, and the cardiac impression of the liver. So this is all about the inferior diaphragmatic surface. To sum up, the right border is formed only by the right atrium. The left border is formed only by the left ventricle. The base is formed by the two atrium, 2/3 by the left atrium, 1/3 by the right atrium. The diaphragmatic surface is formed by the two ventricles, 2/3 by the left ventricle, 1/3 by the right ventricle. Sternocostal surface is basically formed by the two ventricles, 2/3 by the right ventricle and 1/3 by the left ventricle. And 2/3 of the heart is situated to the left of the midline and 1/3 to the right of the midline. This is all about the external features of the heart. Hope you understood. Thank you.